have your Bibles with you, turn with me to the book of Genesis, chapter 21 and verse 14. And I want to just share with you this morning a word that the Lord has burned in my heart, particularly through this week. That is Genesis 21 and 14. And the Lord has been speaking to my heart concerning the God of the shadows. And I wish to lift up that theme this morning as we consider the God of the shadows stepping forward. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder, and the child, and sent her away, and she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs, and she went and sat her down over against him a good way off, as it were a bowshot. For she said, Let me not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him and lifted up her voice and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad, and the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad to drink. Now we trust this morning the Lord will add His blessing to the public reading of His holy and precious word. You know, I wish to speak this morning, as I've said, concerning the God of the shadows. For I want to tell you this morning, no matter where you roam about in life, no matter the difficulties that we as individuals encounter from time to time, I want to tell you this morning that there is indeed a God in heaven, a God who is ready to hear, a God who is ready to answer, and a God who is ready to meet the need and to touch you at the very point of your need. You know, as we consider this little passage this morning from Genesis, we are looking at a passage of hopelessness. We are looking at a passage this morning where this woman, Hagar, had spent all the provisions that Abraham gave her, and she had gone as far as she could go in the hot, blistering sun, and the water that Abraham gave her had run out. She had reached, as we would say today, the end of her rope. She reached the end of human possibilities. And I want us to consider this morning. As we consider this woman, she reached the end of human possibilities. And so as we consider this story, we find it to be one of hopelessness, of helplessness, a situation that was dire indeed. You know, I want us to consider four things this morning as we look at this account in Genesis. I want us to consider the crumbling world round about us. I want us to consider the end of human possibility. I want us to consider the hopelessness of many a situation. And I want us to consider the God of the shadows steps forward. You know, as we consider this crumbling world around us, as we consider this woman Hagar, she was raised, if we remember the account in the story, under Abraham, who was wealthy and well off at that time. You know, some of us know this story so well, we've heard it so often. You know, we found there that this woman Hagar was a work of the flesh. Abraham and Sarah had failed to rest in God, for God gave a promise that He would bring a promised child, and Abraham and Sarah had devised to bring this to pass by their own ingenuity and their own ideas. You know, they laid hold on her bondwoman, and they devised a plan that if she bore a child to Abraham, then that would fulfill God's ultimate plan. To no fault of this bondwoman, this plan was devised. And as we can imagine, after God gave this promised child, we find that there was tensions rising and strife rising between these two children, between these two children, one of promise and the other of the flesh. And we find that Sarah delivered to Abraham an ultimatum. It all boiled up to the point where Sarah says, you put that woman out of here. You kick her out. It was a situation of hopelessness. And oh, I wonder if we can imagine this morning, if we could go in our minds to this scene. We find Hagar under the wealth of Abraham. And every need that she had was met. Every favour was given and bestowed upon her life. But suddenly, something happens. Something happens that changes her world upside down and changes it forever. Oh, I want to tell you, we can be walking around in this world at times, and we can live a life without Christ, and everything can seem to go okay, and everything can be wonderful, but suddenly something happens, and it can flip our world upside down and round about, and so it was with this woman Hagar. She's thrust out to this house of Abraham and cast into a place of wilderness, of barrenness. Just a word of sin this morning, I want to tell you. If we indulge in sin and the lusts of the flesh, just as this account, sin will strip us of everything. It'll put us in a wilderness. It'll take children off us. It'll take our future off us. It'll take everything off us and strip us bare and naked. Well, we find the type of sin in this account as we consider this story. When Hagar is thrust out of Abraham's house, and after this woman uses her resources that Abraham gave her, and her water bottle run out, and she's exhausted the realm of human possibility, she reaches a place where she knows the son is going to end the life of her child. She knows it's going to end her life too. I wonder sometimes I've seen and witnessed to some sinners in the past where they've been brought to rock bottom, as we say. They've been brought to this place, rock bottom, and they know that it's over, and their only hope is Christ. Their only hope is to call and to trust in the Saviour. And how we have heard many testimonies over the years of men and women that had taken the Lord, and He turned everything around and gave them life, and life more abundantly. But Hagar reached this place where she knew that her child would die. And we can find that motherly instinct in the scripture cranking up in her heart. I don't know about you this morning, but I can almost picture going into this story and having to see this woman take this child that she loved, this child that she gave birth to, that she loved with all of her heart and soul, and here this woman has been brought to a place of hopelessness, a place of helplessness, to where she takes that child and lays it down and travels a bow shot away. For you see, she can't bear seeing the death of the child. As we consider this passage, The Lord has been thundering this into my heart. How Satan at times, the Lord has given things to our lives. He's given us as an assembly apostolic vision. He's given us as an assembly ministries and foundational truths. He's given us vision. He's given us direction. He's given us dreams. He has given ministries. He has given calls. He has given gifts. And oh, Satan has brought us to that place through the affliction and through the wilderness and through a casting out, if you like, just as this woman Hagar. And it's brought us to the place where we felt hopeless. We felt, Lord, I can't go on another day in this hot, blistering sun. Oh Lord, I lay it down. I lay that child down that you gave me. I lay that call down that you gave me. I lay that ministry down that you gave into my life. Oh, have we been brought to this place? This place is this woman Hagar. But we've recognised the hopelessness in the situation. The hopelessness of a powerless church. The hopelessness of vain religion. The hopelessness of going forward. You know, this child represents dreams and visions and the call of the Lord that is placed on a life. The children of ministry, the children for salvation. And we've been brought to this place where we've had to lay it down by reason of the sun and by reason of the elements. For we cannot bear to see the death of it all. Oh, have we been brought to this place? Has Satan been taunting us in this very place? As we've sat down in a place of defeat, a place of weeping, a place as we find Hagar, let me not see the death of the child. As she sat over against him and lifted up her voice and wept. Oh, when I say, oh, there are tears amongst us. There have been tears. There has been shed, sometimes over and through the years, weeping at a situation of hopelessness, weeping at a situation of helplessness. But I want to tell you this morning that the Lord can take those tears and He will turn them into joy. You see, as this woman lifted up her voice, and we've heard this morning of the God who was, who is, and who is yet to come. Oh, I want to tell you, we can lift our voice to the Lord, no matter our need, our situation, whether it be for salvation, whether it be for a financial need, whether it be to go forward in the call of the Lord. I tell you, we can lift our voice to the one who is and who is yet to come. Oh, she lifted her voice up to the Lord. You see, as we consider the crumbling world around us and the hopelessness of many a situation, as you lift your voice to Him, the Lord shall hear your voice and answer. And we read the answer in the scripture. The angel of the Lord called out to Hagar from heaven. Oh, you see, now we find the God of the shadows stepping into the situation. You see, all this time, this woman was distraught. All the time, when she was brought to the end of human possibility, she was blinded to see that her answer was just ahead. Her answer was just around the corner, and there was provision there. There was a well-watered well standing there that was hidden from her view. And I want to tell you this morning, the death of that child and the worries that's filled your heart, wherever it may be, I tell you the Lord has placed a well-watered well just around the corner. And you might not see it now, but it's there, and He shall peel off the blindfold from your eyes. Oh, that might happen this morning that He might bring us to this well of living water. This well, you may have been discouraged through the week as bad news has come in, but I tell you that you might see there is a well of living water that the Lord would set before your eyes this morning, that you might drink. The God of the shadows steps forward. You see, when the world is crumbling round you and everything goes so wrong and you feel there's no use to carry on, just remember Jesus loves you and He cares for His own. So trust in Him and faith will lead you on. Standing somewhere in life's shadows, you'll find Jesus. He's the only one who cares or understands. Standing somewhere in the shadows, you will find Him, and you'll know Him by the nail prints in His hands. You see, this woman Hagar found God in the shadows. Wherever your situation, wherever your cries and your tears may have been, the God of the shadows steps forward. And oh, I believe this morning that the God of the shadows is stepping forward to meet you at your very point of need, to answer our prayers, to put the bottle of water in our hands, that we might be filled with its life-giving flow. Arise, was the voice of the Lord. Lift up the lad and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation. Oh, if ever there's a word that echoes from this passage, it's that word arise. Wallowing in sin, arise. Wallowing in a situation of helplessness, the voice of the Lord echoes through this passage, arise. Arise and shine, for thy light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon thee. Arise. Lift up the lad and hold him in thine hand. Oh, there's a word from the Lord here this morning. As you've maybe cried tears of agony, tears of anguish, tears of hopelessness, Lord, I'm forgotten. Oh Lord, what of me? Lord, I'm forgotten and out the way. Nobody understands, nobody cares. Oh, I tell you, the Lord cares. No one ever cared for me like Jesus. As the old hymn. Arise, lift up the lad and hold him in thine hand. You see, this woman was brought to a place where she took the child that was given to her, and she placed it down, she forsook her. She had reasoned within herself and saw in her natural eyes it was a situation of hopelessness. And I am sure that we've been there at times with a child God has given us, even spiritually, a child of ministry, a call that the Lord has placed in our life, and we've laid it down through discouragement. We've laid it down by reason of the hot sun in our back. And all those things that's been laid down. Visions that God gave, ministries that God got. Oh, but there's a call of the Lord, and that call echoes, lift up the child and hold him in thine hand. I want to tell you, the Lord is calling you this morning to lift up that child and hold it in your hand. And pick up that bottle of water in your hand from that well-watered well. Oh, we find the Lord speaks words of promise, words of power and words of provision. And we read, and God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she filled the bottle of water and gave the lad drink. You see, I thirsted in a barren land of sin and shame. and nothing satisfying there I found. But to the blessed cross of Christ one day I came, for springs of living water did abound. Drinking at the springs of living water, happy now am I, my soul is satisfied. Drinking at the fount of living water, oh wonderful and bountiful supply. Have you walked and trod in the wilderness? The wilderness of trial and testing, a wilderness of sin and shame. I tell you, the Lord hath a well that He has placed and made available to you in this assembly this morning, that you might reach out and touch the Lord whilst He's passing by. For you'll find He's not too busy to answer your heart's cry. He's passing by this very moment, your need to supply. Oh, reach out and touch the Lord as He passes by. He's passing by this morning. Oh, can we consider this well of water and how God takes a person to this well? And I remember Him taking the woman at the well, standing at Jacob's well, and the Lord asked her to give him water. And then the Lord said to her, hey, you drink the water that I shall give, and you shall never thirst again. And the Lord said to this woman, out from your innermost being shall flow rivers of living water. Oh, I tell you, we may have been burned and we may have been in the midst of a drought and in the midst of a hot sun, but I tell you, there is a well of living water that the Lord causes to come forth through the channels of believers, and those waters bubble over, those waters of life, those waters of truth, those waters of ministry, they bubble up and bubble over. Oh, we find Isaiah prophesies concerning springs of water and the desert and floods of water and the dry land. Oh, I believe as an assembly the Lord has called us in the midst of this desert to be floods of water and that dry and barren ground. You know, I really feel this and felt this strongly through the week. That there are dreams and there's visions as an assembly. And we're not talking of silliness now, we're talking of genuine things. We're talking of the genuine things of the Lord. And genuine experiences that God gives and wants us to have. There are dreams and visions that God has given. There are futures that God has promised. There are children that He has given. And He has set this well of water before our eyes this morning. For He wants us to pick back up that child in our hands this morning. Have you been brought to a place where you've thrown in the towel? Have you been brought to a place where you've said, God, I don't want this. I don't want the ministry. Lord, I can't continue in song. Oh, the sun's too hot. I throw it all in. The Lord says, pick up the child. Pick up the child and hold it in your hands. And give it water to drink. Pick up those broken pieces this morning. Those shattered dreams, those shattered visions, their abandoned call. You know, there's never ever been an earnest cry from the heart of a person in need that God has never answered this side of eternity. You may have cried unto Him, but there is a voice echoing from heaven into your heart and soul this morning. And it's the voice of God the Father. as he saw the cries of Hagar of old, he saw the cries and the tears in your heart that no one has saw. And he has spake from heaven this morning, arise, arise in the promise, arise in the purpose, arise and shine. Lift up the lad, lift up those broken dreams of purpose, lift up those things that the Lord has deposited into your heart and life, and hold them in your hands. For I will make a great nation of him. You know, it's easy when the going gets tough to give in. Oh, but don't give up. You're on the brink of a miracle. You see Hagar, as she's wandering in this wilderness, as she gave up, she failed to see that there was a well just ahead. There was a well just within reach. There is a well here this morning within reach. You see, there is a fountain filled with blood drawn from Emmanuel's veins. Sinners plunge beneath that flood and lose all their guilty stains. Oh, there is a river that flows from God above. There is a river. Oh, come to the waters. There is a vast supply. There is a river that never shall run dry. The Lord takes his people to a river, and he's taken us as an assembly to a river, that we might take that living water, that it might nourish our very souls. Oh, come to the waters. There is a cry of the Lord this morning, come to the waters and drink. For there is a river that never shall run dry. Just as Hagar was brought to the end of human possibility, she discovered that her end was God's beginning. God's beginning to exercise his speciality of specializing in those things thought impossible, doing just what no other could do. You know, as we consider our brother Jim that has been smitten in recent days with illness, I wonder if we indeed can consider these truths as we lift them up a little later on in prayer. The power of the Lord is still the same, and his touch is still the same. Have you any rivers? Have we any rivers as an assembly that we think uncrossable? Have we any mountains we can't tunnel through? God specializes in those things that are impossible, and he can do what none other can do. As he done for Hagar, he shall do for you. Pick up those dreams, those visions, salvation maybe, those children the Lord has given you to, lift them up in your hands. For the Lord has spoken, I shall make him a great nation. I wonder if we could sing that little chorus this morning as we close. There is a river that flows from God above. There is a fountain filled with God's own love. Come to the waters. Oh, would you come this morning to those waters? Would you drink of that water this morning? May God bless his precious word.
There is a fountain just as we remain in this beautiful attitude of prayer this morning, we thank David for the word that was brought this morning. If anybody at all here has a need, you call to Christ this morning.